welcome back to the garden.
So glad to have you joining us for Easter.
So yesterday I was in the break room at work making coffee, and my colleague Sarah walked in and asked me, "Are you doing anything for Easter?" And I just froze. I looked at her and said, not really. Nothing special." She smiled, said cool, and walked away. And I stood there thinking, why could I not say more than that?
That moment is so common, and it is not a vocabulary problem. You know the word Easter, you know the word weekend. The real issue is the conversation flow, how to answer naturally, how to ask back, how to invite someone, and especially how to say no politely without sounding rude.
That is exactly it. I had things to say, but I did not have the right phrases ready in my head.
Welcome back to Pocket English Daily. I am your host, Lena, and as always, I am here with Theo.
Hello everyone. Easter is coming up this weekend, and if you work in an English-speaking environment or have English-speaking friends, I guarantee someone is going to ask about your plans. The question sounds simple, but the full conversation, invitations, accepting, declining, coordinating, that is where most of us get stuck.
And that is exactly what we are covering today. By the end of this episode, you will have much more than nothing special. Here is what you will be able to do after this episode. First, ask someone about their holiday plans naturally, at different levels of formality. Second, invite a friend or colleague to a lunch, a get-together, or any kind of event. Third, and this is the hardest one for most learners, decline an invitation politely without feeling guilty. And fourth, greet people warmly during and after a holiday, including some closing phrases that work in almost any situation. The best part? Every phrase today works beyond Easter, for birthdays, long weekends, and any celebration.
We will go through real conversations step by step. No vocabulary lists, just phrases you can use right away.
Let us go back to that break room moment. Sarah asked, "Are you doing anything for Easter?" That is present continuous. Are you doing for future plans? Not do you do, which sounds like a yearly habit. Are you doing anything for Easter? Asks about this specific upcoming weekend.
So if I said, "What do you do for Easter?" that would sound like I am asking about her tradition every year, not about her plan this weekend.
Exactly. What do you do for Easter is about a general habit. What are you doing for Easter is about this year, this plan. The present continuous makes it feel current and personal.
Good. So the first phrase is, "Are you doing anything for Easter?" What if I want something more casual?
You could say, "What are you up to this weekend?" The phrase "up to" is a very natural way to ask about someone's plans. You will hear it all the time, at work, in messages, at a cafe. What are you up to? Simply means, what are your plans? Or, what are you doing right now?
And if I want something more formal, for example, with a manager or someone I do not know very well,
then you say, "Do you have any plans for the long weekend?" A long weekend is a weekend with an extra day off because of a public holiday. In many countries, Easter gives you a 4-day break because Good Friday and Easter Monday are both public holidays.
I have also heard the phrase bank holiday. Is that the same thing?
It is. Bank holiday is the British English term for a public holiday. The name comes from the old days when banks were required to close on those days. So, if someone in the United Kingdom asks, "Are you doing anything for the bank holiday weekend?" they simply mean the long weekend. Same idea, different label.
So now I have 3 ways to ask depending on the situation. But when Sarah asked me, I did not even know what to answer. What are some natural responses?
It depends on how much you have planned. If you have nothing specific, not much, just relaxing, is perfectly natural. If you have a family event, we are having a family lunch on Sunday. If you have a specific plan, I am visiting my parents this weekend. And if you want to keep it light and seasonal, we are thinking of going to a cafe. The weather looks beautiful.
Those all use the present continuous. We are having, I am visiting, we are thinking. So the same grammar works for both the question and the answer when talking about future plans.
Exactly right. And here is something very important that many learners forget. After you answer, you should ask the question back. In English, a good conversation is a two-way street. If someone asks about your plans, they expect you to show interest in theirs. You can simply say, "How about you?" or "What about you?" or the full version, "Are you doing anything special?"
So a complete exchange would sound like, "Not much, just relaxing. What about you?" That way the conversation keeps. And that is exactly what went wrong with Sarah. I answered her question, but I never asked back. So the conversation just stopped, right there in the break room.
And you felt awkward, but Sarah probably did too. She was reaching out and you gave her nothing to work with. One small phrase, "What about you?" would have kept that conversation alive.
So the golden rule for holiday conversations, always ask back. Now, while we are talking about Easter, I have a quick story.
Go ahead.
Last week I was at my bakery and I saw these bread rolls with a white cross on top. I had no idea what they were, so I asked the person behind the counter and she said, "Those are hot cross buns." And I just nodded like I understood. I did not. I went home and looked it up.
Now you are the expert. Hot cross buns are sweet bread rolls with spices inside and a white cross on top. They are very popular in the United Kingdom and Australia around Easter. You will see them in bakeries and supermarkets everywhere in April.
And while I was reading about hot cross buns, I also came across Easter egg hunts. So for anyone listening who is not familiar, an Easter egg hunt is a game where you hide chocolate eggs around a garden and children search for them. It is one of the most popular Easter traditions in English-speaking countries.
And that word tradition is worth remembering. It simply means something people do every year because it is their custom. You can have a family tradition, a holiday tradition, even a work tradition. Very useful word.
And celebrate. I keep hearing that word. We celebrate Easter. We celebrate birthdays. It means to do something special for an important day, right?
Exactly. To do something special for an important day. And these are the cultural details that help you follow a conversation about Easter, even if it is not something you personally celebrate. You do not need to know everything about the holiday, just enough to keep up.
So now I know how to ask about plans, but here is my next challenge. What if I actually want to invite someone? Because I tried this once and it was a disaster.
Oh, what happened?
I said to a colleague, "Do you like to come to my house for dinner?" And she paused, looked a little confused and said, generally I enjoy going to people's houses. Is that what you are asking?" I wanted to disappear.
That is actually a perfect example of a very common mistake. And I am glad you are bringing it up because I hear this one all the time. "Do you like to come?" Sounds like you are asking about a general preference, like a habit. "Would you like to come?" is the invitation. That word would changes everything.
So would turns it from a general question into a real invitation for a specific occasion.
It does. "Would you like to join us for lunch on Sunday?" That is the classic polite invitation in English. It is warm, respectful, and it gives the other person room to say yes or no without any pressure.
And for something casual, if I am texting a close friend, I am probably not going to say, "Would you like to?"
No, you would not. With friends, you can say, "Do you want to come over for lunch?" Or even just, "Come over for lunch on Sunday." And here is a nice little phrase to remove pressure. "No worries if you cannot make it." That tells the other person you will not be upset if they say no.
No worries if you cannot make it. That takes all the pressure away. Okay, I want to try a full invitation on you. Ready?
Ready.
Lena, are you free on Sunday afternoon?
I think so. Why? What is happening?
We are having a small get-together for Easter, just a few friends. Would you like to join us for lunch?
That sounds lovely. Thank you for inviting me. What time should I come?
Around 1 in the afternoon. Does that work for you?
That works perfectly. Do you want me to bring anything?
If you can, bring something sweet. We do not have dessert yet.
I will bring some cookies then. I am looking forward to it.
Notice what Lena said right at the end. I am looking forward to it. That is one of the best ways to close after you accept an invitation. It tells the other person you are genuinely excited. You can also say, "I am really looking forward to Sunday," or simply, "I cannot wait."
And notice the full flow of what just happened. Theo checked my availability first. Are you free on Sunday? Then he described the event. We are having a small get-together. Then the invitation. Would you like to join us? I accepted, asked for details, and offered to bring something. That phrase, "Do you want me to bring anything?" is important. Whenever you go to someone's home, offering to bring something shows you are a thoughtful guest.
And here's the thing. That conversation flowed naturally because the phrases did the work. Once you have them ready, the rest takes care of itself.
Okay, Theo, I want to ask you something honestly. What scares you more, inviting someone or saying no to an invitation?
Saying no, by far, because I want to be polite, but I never know how to explain myself without it sounding rude. I once told a colleague, "No, I am busy." Just like that, no softening at all. And the look on her face, I could tell she was a little hurt.
And the reason is simple. No, I am busy is technically correct, but it is too direct for social English. It is missing all the warmth. The good news? There is a clear structure for declining politely, and once you have it, you will never feel stuck again.
So I actually studied this before today's episode, and I believe there are 5 steps. Can I walk through them?
Go for it. Let us see how much you know.
Step 1. Open with appreciation. Something like, "Thank you so much for inviting me." Even though you are about to say no, you start by showing the person you value the invitation.
That is spot on. The appreciation opener makes everything that follows sound warmer. What is step 2?
Step 2. Show that you want to go. "I would love to, but..." That "but" signals a reason is coming, but the first half, "I would love to," tells the person your answer is not about them.
That is the most important step. I would love to, but completely changes the emotional tone of the decline. Without it, you are just saying no. With it, you are saying, "I genuinely wish I could."
Step 3. Give a short reason. And this is where I used to go wrong. I thought I needed to explain everything. My aunt is coming from another city and we are going to her favorite restaurant and then visiting my grandmother. But actually, "I already have plans" is more than enough.
That is true. In English, a short reason is perfectly polite. Nobody expects a full story. In fact, a long explanation can sometimes make it sound like you are making excuses, which feels worse, not better.
Step 4. Offer an alternative. "Could we do next weekend instead?" Or "How about another time?" This tells the person you still want to see them, just not on that day.
And step 5?
A warm closing. Something like, "I hope you have a wonderful time," or "Enjoy the weekend." You leave the conversation feeling positive even though you said no.
All 5 steps, perfectly in order. Have you been studying my notes?
Maybe. Let me try the full pattern now. Give me an invitation.
Theo, we are having Easter lunch on Sunday. Would you like to come over?
Thank you so much for inviting me. I would love to, but I already have plans that day. Could we do something next weekend instead? I hope you have a wonderful Easter.
Hear the difference? That sounded warm, respectful, and completely natural. Compare it with, "No, I am busy." Same answer, completely different feeling.
The difference is huge. Now, I also want to share a phrase I picked up recently. "Can I take a rain check?" I heard it in a TV show and immediately wrote it down. It means, not today, but I do want to do it another time.
That is a wonderful phrase to know. It originally comes from baseball. If a game was cancelled because of rain, you got a ticket to come back another day. Today, it simply means, "Can we reschedule?" It is casual, friendly, and very common in North American English.
So if a friend says, "Do you want to grab coffee tomorrow?" and I cannot go, I can simply say, "Can I take a rain check?" One short phrase and the other person understands completely.
And one important thing to avoid, please never say, "No, I do not want to come." Even if that is how you feel, it sounds too direct in English and could hurt someone's feelings. "I would love to, but I cannot make it," communicates the same information, but it protects the relationship.
Wait, "I cannot make it." Can you explain that one? What does "make it" mean here?
I cannot make it simply means I am unable to attend. It is softer and more natural than I cannot come. You will hear it everywhere. Can you make it on Saturday means can you attend? And sorry, I cannot make it is one of the most common ways to decline. Remember this phrase. It comes back later.
So let us say the day arrives. I accepted the invitation, I brought my cookies, and now I am standing at my friend's front door. What happens next?
Well, since you invited me to your Easter lunch earlier, let us continue that story. I arrive at your door. You are the host this time. What do you say?
Lena, come on in. I am so glad you could make it.
Did you hear that? I am so glad you could make it. There is make it again, this time from the host's side. It means the host is happy that you were able to attend. So, make it works both ways. Can you make it when asking, and I am glad you could make it when welcoming.
Make yourself at home. The children just finished an Easter egg hunt in the garden, so there is chocolate everywhere. There are hot cross buns and cookies on the table. Help yourself.
Thank you so much for having me. Everything looks lovely.
Two important host phrases here. Make yourself at home means relax, feel comfortable, treat this space as your own. And help yourself means go ahead and take food or drinks. You do not need to wait to be served. And what Lena said, thank you for having me. That is the classic guest response. It works at any gathering, Easter, a birthday party, a casual dinner, anything.
Is there anything I can help with in the kitchen? Or, as we say in English, can I give you a hand?
That is sweet of you, but please just relax and enjoy yourself.
Can I give you a hand simply means, can I help you? It is a warm phrase that shows you are a considerate guest. The host might accept, actually, could you help me carry these plates? Or decline warmly like Theo just did. Either way, offering is always appreciated. Here is a situation many people find tricky. You are at work and a colleague you do not know very well walks past. Do you say, Happy Easter?
Honestly, I would probably hesitate because I do not know if they celebrate Easter or not.
That is a smart instinct. With close friends and family, Happy Easter is perfect. But in a mixed group, at work for example, something more neutral works better. Have a great long weekend, or enjoy your break. These include everyone without making any assumptions.
And I heard a nice middle ground. Happy Easter if you are celebrating. That tiny addition shows awareness.
That is a thoughtful way to handle it. Now, what about after the holiday? You walk into the office on Tuesday morning. What do you say?
I actually know this one. I hope you had a nice break. It works after any holiday, not just Easter. You can also say, did you have a good weekend?
Those are solid phrases for any holiday return. And if you want to go further, turn that greeting into a real connection. You can say, we should catch up soon. The phrase, catch up, means getting together to share news and updates. Let us catch up over coffee this week is a very natural way to reconnect after time off.
I really like that one. It takes a simple greeting and turns it into a real invitation for future contact. And since we are talking about closing phrases, there is one I want to share.
Go ahead.
Have a good one. The first time I heard it, I was so confused. I was at a coffee shop and the barista said, have a good one. And I thought, a good what? A good coffee? A good walk? What is the one?
And the answer is, it does not matter. That is what makes it so useful. Have a good one replaces have a good day, have a good evening, have a good weekend. All of them. It is one of the most flexible goodbye phrases in English. You hear it everywhere. Coffee shops, the office, the end of a phone call.
So instead of worrying about whether to say good day or good evening or good weekend, you just say, have a good one, and it always fits.
Always. And another warm option, take care. Simple, genuine, and it works in any situation. Now, since Easter falls right in the middle of spring, let me also give you a few quick conversation starters for when you arrive at a gathering. You can comment on the weather or the season. It is such a lovely day today. The flowers are blooming everywhere. Blooming means the flowers are opening up and showing their colour. Or simply, it finally feels like spring.
Those work well because they are easy, light, and they help you start a conversation without needing a big topic.
And that brings us to the end of another great episode.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.